On April 10th, 2010, Isaac and Melanie Miller got married in a beautiful ceremony officiated by their close friend Jeff Parker. Their friends, their family, and their church family rejoiced with them.
When I look at you and hold you in my arms, spend my days with you is all I wanna do.
On September 17th, 2011, they found out Melanie was with child, and they rejoiced again.
I had to wake him up, and he was a little groggy still from sleeping, and I told him, and he definitely woke up after that.
But before they could announce the great news publicly, on September 27th, Isaac awoke in extreme pain.
All of a sudden, out of the blue, he grabbed the back of his head and just started, yelling that something was wrong. This was different. The pain was different.
I remember grabbing my head and saying that this hurts and I don't know what's wrong and we have to go in. And that's the last thing I remember.
He was just in enormous pain. Isaac literally was screaming because of pain. And you know, you can scream for fun, you can scream for a lot of reasons, but when you're screaming because you're just in agony, physical agony, there's a different sound to it, and I'll never forget that as long as I live.
Eventually, they kicked me out of the room. I sat in the waiting room with my mom, and I could hear him yelling. Back in the room, I could hear him yelling clear out in the waiting room. And then the yelling stopped. When the doctor finally came out and sat down across from me and told me that he had had a ruptured brain aneurysm. I've known a couple of different people in my life that have had this. I didn't know you could survive it. When the doctor told me that, I thought he was already gone.
The doctors were hopeful, but the statistics were not in Isaac's favor, and so people began to pray. Many people and many prayers.
Well, my first thought was to go to prayer and just say, Lord, save his life.
They had to take him and put a drain in his head to try and help relieve the pressure. They put the drain in kind of early morning, kind of in the middle of the night. And then it was about 9 o'clock the next morning, so about 12 hours after it happened. They took him into surgery, a very, very long surgery, and removed a piece of his skull. They put a clip on the aneurysm to stop the bleeding. The doctor came out of surgery and talked to all of us. At that point, gave us a little bit of the statistics. They were kind but very blunt, that about 12% survived this. The fact that he had survived even to get to the ER was a miracle at that point. About 12% were going to actually live through it. And of that, a very small fraction would come out of it okay. In the neuro ICU, just part of procedure and part of the procedure with a brain injury, they wake them up every hour, on the hour, to check them. The nurse had taken away all the pain medication, and we couldn't get him to wake up. That first evening, every hour, on the hour, the nurse comes in to do her job, and she has to take the pain meds away and try to wake him up. And at no point that evening could they get him to wake up.
The wait was excruciating. But then it happened. Miraculously, Isaac woke up, and not long after that, he started talking.
I had gone back into his room. He was awake at that point, and I sat next to his bed, and I held his hand, and he looked at me, and he really looked at me for the first time. He looked down, and the first words that he actually spoke was, "You're wearing my wedding ring," because they took it off of him in the ER.
Isaac's recovery and return to Wenatchee was so rapid that it caught many by surprise.
I happened to run into the grocery store really quick. Melissa had said, "Mom, Isaac's here." And I said, "No way, he's still in the hospital over in Seattle. He can't be here. And I mean, he's still in like ICU." She goes, "No, he's here." So we went around the corner, and sure enough, Isaac was there, and he had a nurse with him following him around. And of course, his head was shaved, and he had the stitches all the way, totally across his whole entire head. But he was Isaac. It was amazing. It was exciting and just so surprising. That was like an amazing testament to God's grace and just how quickly it happened.
There were so many unknowns. You know, initially we didn't know if he would recover, and then for a while we didn't know how complete his recovery would be, and then we didn't know how long it was going to take. And then he was here, walking around talking to everybody. So it was just, you know, stunning. To this day, I am just overwhelmed every time I see him.
For some reason, I just sensed that this was going to be a miracle. That God was going to restore him, that he was going to come out of this, and that we were going to be part of, as a community of people, watching God bring Isaac back to us. And I'm not sure where it came from. I don't really remember anybody saying something to me. And as I prayed, I just had this sense of peace. This is going to be a powerful testimony of God's grace in a person's life, and of restoration, and that it may take a while. God's going to fully restore Isaac back to where maybe he's never been before, better than he's ever been.
We are so grateful that God healed Isaac and has returned him to us so quickly. Isaac is still recovering and regaining his strength, but we all stand amazed at his stamina and perseverance. And Melanie's too, now that little Scarlet Elizabeth has made her entrance.
Smile for the camera.
We rejoice in Isaac's healing, and we ask for your continued prayer support for Isaac, Melanie, and their family. And tonight, of course, you have the opportunity to give financially too, as you're able and feel led. We thank God for healing Isaac, and we thank you for joining us this evening.